Hey everyone, I'm currently running a giveaway for hitting 50 subscribers on YouTube. There are 3 Perplexity comment invites up for grabs for 3 lucky winners. All you need to do is either click on the link to the giveaway, which is in the description below, which will take you to my X post, or head over to my X profile and find the post about the giveaway. On the post, all you need to do is type in comment and I will use Grok to help me pick the 3 winners. You do not need to be following me on X or subscribe to my YouTube or any of my other socials for that matter, but I would appreciate it if you did. The draw will happen on Monday, September 8th at 9 AM PST. Now, before I get into this video, I just want to make it clear that I am not sponsored or affiliated to OpenRouter in any shape or way. I simply like using the tool, it's a powerful tool, and I think that everybody who uses AI to some capacity should start using it. Looking for ways to level up your AI game? Well, check this out. Right now, if you want to try different AI models, you need separate accounts, API keys, and billing dashboards. Things like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Meta, it's a mess. But imagine having a universal remote that controls every TV brand. That's what OpenRouter does for AI. But it's not just about convenience. Today, I'll show you how this tool is saving developers and everyday AI users like yourself and me thousands of dollars and countless hours while giving them access to models they never knew existed. OpenRouter is a hub for large language models. It connects you to over 400 models from over 60 providers, including GPT, Claude, Gemini, Llama, Qwen, DeepSeek, and the list goes on. It's kind of like an airport terminal. Instead of juggling 10 airlines separately, you book through one hub that handles all your flights. And OpenRouter is exactly that. It's a single gateway that gives you access to hundreds of AI models from dozens of providers, all with one account, one bill, and smart features built in. Think of it as your universal adapter for AI. The numbers are mind-blowing. Over 4.2 million global users, infrastructure supporting 12 trillion monthly tokens, and it's growing every day. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about what these numbers mean for you. Now let me explain to you why it's so good. Firstly, you get one key for many models. You can experiment without 10 different signups over multiple accounts and platforms. It's just one place, one hub, that easy. It's got smart routing and backups, so only 25 milliseconds overhead with automatic failover. It's got transparent pricing, so you know the upfront cost with model comparison, so you don't chew through your credits really fast. It's got centralized billing and analytics, one dashboard for everything. It's got data control, which means that there's a 0 data retention toggle that you can switch on and off. And it's got discovery, live model rankings, and performance metrics. And lately, they've added GPT-5 integration with enhanced long context handling, Gemini 2. Flash image preview for state-of-the-art image generation, or as commonly known as Nano Banana, Cypher Alpha, which is a free general-purpose model with built-in tool calling. So they're constantly updating their platform. And this is as of today, filming this video, which is the 3rd of September. So let me show you how it works. It's really easy. All you gotta do is sign up by either putting an email address or integrating one of the existing accounts. You grab your API key, and this way you can plug it into any of the OpenRouter's endpoints using a platform or tool that you prefer, or you can use the OpenRouter native web app. With only about 25 milliseconds of added overhead, OpenRouter's routing is practically instant. Your requests get to the right model faster than you can blink. Let me show you a real example. Here I'm going to test this prompt across GPT-5, Sonnet 4, and Gemini Flash 2.5 Pro. As you can see, while I'm choosing my language models, you can get the current or previous versions of these language models, and sometimes there's actually a free version that you can utilize to help save some credit. Now, this is a great use case to see if one language model is better or worse for you down to what you want it to output. So the template I'm going to be using is we're going to draft a customer support reply with 3 options. Option A is about being empathetic and friendly. Option B, concise and formal, and option C, proactive with next steps. Now I'm going to put some constraints around this prompt as using 120 to 180 words each, including a subject line, and avoid making promises you can't keep. So here's a typical email that I would be getting from a potential client who wants to use my consulting services. Obviously, I'm not using an actual person, we're going to put in johndoe12345@gmail.com. That's not a real email address. The person is called John Doe, his company is called JD12345, and they sell Christmas goods. They want to know how they can use AI to make things more efficient and scale their business. As you can see, when I hit enter and the prompt is running, that the 3 language models are kicking off all simultaneously. The first model that comes back with a response is Sonnet 4, next is Gemini, while GPT-5 is still thinking about a response, which is normal. As we know with GPT-5, it does some deep thinking, but it's also good to know for the future or when you're doing testing with language models against each other. And now that it's all done, we can go through all the responses based on each models and see which response we like the most. So here you can see ChatGPT-5's response. Now I'm not going to go through all of these one by one. We're just going to quickly scan through them, just have a look at the formatting and text, the language that's being used. You can see that Claude Sonnet 4 has actually slightly better formatting for someone who learns a bit more visually and appreciates seeing things in bold and bullet pointed and segregated clean paragraphs. It looks really good. And lastly, we have Gemini 2.5 Pro. We can go and see that they're using a similar format to Sonnet's 4. Again, this is the format that I prefer. So to be honest, just by going straight away off what I'm visually seeing and not necessarily actually reading what's written down, I would probably go with Sonnet 4 as my first option, 2.5 Pro is my second, and ChatGPT I don't really want to consider unless I can change the formatting up, but that takes away from the time saving. So now moving forward, if I ever want to get an AI to help me craft an email response to any of my clients, I would know straight away to either use Sonnet 4 or Gemini 2.5 Pro to help me craft up that email. I wouldn't consider GPT-5. And this is a perfect use case of how OpenRouter can be used. So other than the side-by-side model testing that I just showed you, what other things can we do with OpenRouter? And who would it be for? Well, startups could definitely use it for something like unified dashboards and no vendor lock-ins. Enterprises can use it for comprehensive analytics and reporting. Researchers can use quick model benchmarking, and developers can do standardized tool calling support. Some other things that I do really like about OpenRouter is if we look at the chat interface across the bottom, before you start prompting it, you can see that it actually has a couple of options to help you get started. You got image, interactive apps, landing page, 2D games, and 3D games. So you could actually essentially create these applications or web apps or games from OpenRouter itself, which is amazing. There are also more options, so you can enable web search. If you go to language models, you can then configure the actual models to behave a little bit differently. It's such a great and powerful tool that more people need to start using it. Another thing that I do love about OpenRouter is that it has this page where you can actually go through and look at the model rankings and the categories. You can see their costs, their tokens, server-side presets for cross-app management, PDF URL support for direct document processing, voice input capabilities, provider routing with failback options, message transforms, tool function calling, analytics and reporting, app attribution, org management, usage limits monitoring, and the list goes on. You might have a few questions or concerns about using OpenRouter, and I can hopefully answer a few of them. Firstly, is it more expensive? And the question is actually yes and no. It really comes down to how often you use the tool. The way that OpenRouter works is that it charges you for the tokens based on the language model costs, but it does slap on a small fee. Now, it depends on how often you use these language models and which ones you use, whether you use a free one or you use expensive ones, and all of that has to come into consideration. But if you use these language models multiple times a day, every day, yes, it is going to cost you more than, let's say, a $20 ChatGPT Pro subscription would cost you. But what you get out of it is a lot more in terms of value. So is it more expensive? It can be, but also it can't be. Next question is around privacy, and that question is, do they keep my data? I did briefly cover this in the introduction of this video, which is around ZDR, or Zero Data Retention, and that is something that you can toggle on or off. So the question around if they keep your data or not is completely down to whether or not you have this toggled on or off. Metadata is something that is always logged by OpenRouter, so things like token usage, They just want to know how often a language model is being used so they can rank them in their stats. They don't actually look at the information you put in unless obviously you've allowed them to track your data for training purposes. The next question is, does every feature work everywhere? No, not all features like caching or structured outputs are supported by every model. You'll have to check the model page on OpenRouter and learn more about the model itself. And lastly, are there any limits? Yes, there are limits, especially for free models. Paid usage scales with your credits. Whether you're building the next big AI app or just exploring what's possible, OpenRouter gives you something invaluable: freedom. Freedom to experiment, to switch models, to scale up or down, and to future-proof your projects. OpenRouter is a universal adapter for AI. It removes the hassle of multiple accounts, gives you flexibility, reliability, and transparency. And it keeps you future-proof as new models launch. If you're experimenting with AI, whether you're just starting out or building serious projects, OpenRouter is one of the easiest ways to explore the best of what's out there today. Thank you for joining me today, and hopefully you've learned something from watching this video. If you want this content to appear more on your front page, please consider liking, subscribing, and dropping a comment. Tell me what you think about OpenRouter or any other AI tools that I should start testing and playing around with for my next videos. Stay safe and take care of yourselves. And remember to always be kind to each other.